The scene. You always see the same types at the scene. For months, it's been somewhere in the shipbreaking yards, the Farangi Riviera. Most recently, a box boat with its gaping hold where moonlight sinks in shafts through blowtorch holes to catch raised arms, globe bracelets garish in the dark. By 10 on Friday, Connell sent his ESL cram course of adult kids back to their nagging parents, fresh off call center shifts. He's grabbed dinner in the basement food court of the high-rise where he teaches, and in his souped-up Polambo, a 7-seater share cab all his own, he's on the coast road, Ahmedabad, miles behind. His second year here, he and 3 roommates threw in for these wheels, and now that he's the only one left in country, it's all his. The sea breeze brings the fuel reek of the shipbreaking yards past the straw huts and paddies. On the shoulder, a pristine fridge waits for 2 men sharing a beer beneath a palm to resume their bearers' duties. The dark fronds stir above with sovereign indifference. Then, to either roadside, the salvage bazaar starts, a 5-mile corridor of sheds still busy at this hour with glare and shouts. It's like a tent settlement outside a shelled city, except the refugees are things: doors, dishwashers, pillows, bathtubs, fans, fire extinguishers, styrofoam, row on row of mauve chairs from 100 staterooms. Give us your huddled, you're poor, Connell thinks, and then, this is what it will be like after the bomb. These eager vendors, these men whom no clothes seem to fit. Their wife-beaters droop from browned, bowed shoulders, their sweats balloon below the waist. A dented truck picks up a fleet of brand-new used dishwashers. A rickshaw walla pedals past a line of exercise bikes. Connell's a connoisseur of these exquisite incongruities, which the third world tosses up with such fecundity. Just beyond the bare bulbs, boys in men's shirts and house slippers sprawl asleep on rubber cables in piles broad as toppled baobabs, ends snaking off root-like into the dark. In the distance looms the graveyard of discarded ships. By chain-link fences and at wooden booths, palms are greased and smiles flashed, gates opened for Connell's vehicle. In back, the padded cases of his speakers, mixer, CDJ, clack as he jostles down the cinder drive. As usual, Julio is early with his van of hand-picked beauties. Destinacion Fiesta, reads the bumper sticker on his windshield. Out tumble, too, on the on-again, off-again Sarah and Becker, and that grizzled fixture of the scene, Hicks. Hicks, junkie mascot, ersatz Kurtz of the expatriates, with his long hair and German army jacket. No one knows his story or how long he's been in country. Becker says that on Hicks' torso those are fishhook scars, man, that back home he headlined in a circus of human pain whose website has disappeared, that he came to India to learn how to pull a Volkswagen with a rope tied to his dick. Julio's heard 9 different figures for how many girls he's laid by pretending to be Iggy Pop. Sarah's heard Becker whisper how one time, ransacking a hostel and jonesing for a fix, Hicks got his ass handed to him by a pair of Danish backpackers, one of whom was a 5-foot blonde. Ladies, Julio says, ladies. In lucite pumps and lame miniskirts, this week's girls are milling on the greasy sand between the massive tomb of the container ship and the crumbled headstone of the bow. He herds them up a stretch of gangplank that rises past the ballast tanks into the cavernous hold, Becker following with the generator, Sarah bringing up the rear with strobes. Hicks breaks into a wild sprint inside, hurling LED throwies at the walls. Every night another piece is missing from the rotting hulk, scar tissue from torch cutting all along the edges, and the scene pulls further back into the unlit depths. It won't be long before they have to move down on the shore and find another boat. Connell's setting up shop against the far bulkhead when a new girl wanders in, torn jeans, jutting chin, tomboy ponytail pulled through a baseball cap. Connell's seen her kind before. She's waiting on her LSAT scores, or is it MCAT? The year her parents ordered her to spend here getting to know her own roots is already, not even, half over. And she's afraid she's getting too used to her surroundings, losing her ironic delectation for English, for outrageous Bollywoodiana, but worse yet, losing touch with the wonder of first contact. Where's that thrilling alien feeling, that Xeno sensation, the assault and fascination of walking down a crowded street bewildered, without a filter for the noise, the smells, the color? She's gone looking for that feeling everywhere. Now he watches as she glances around, the hold's still empty. She bites her lip, like maybe she's too early. Doesn't it remind you of... Connell searches for some sculptor's name another girl once dropped. Richard Serra? She says, I'm Anjali. He nods and starts the music. He's never gotten over the spooky acoustics. Davy and Donnie show up, slap hands all around, shout out, "Hicks, you're still kicking," the customary greeting. "Where's Gunther?" they're asked. The lovers shrug, identical in white sport coats and gold chains. Gunther said he was getting a ride with Maria and Cunha, but when the Brazilians roll in, they say they waited for him half an hour at the place with the best jalebi. You know the one. They picture him, gangly in camos, plucking at his lip ring and checking his watch. Everyone laughs. From the edge of the hold, Anjali eyes a man wheeling his moped past the spotted barrels, the frayed ends of a snapped steel cable. He's caught a flat. "The man in the suit," Maria observes. Another regular, always in a suit. Sometimes a woman will be perched behind him, sometimes not. He always wears a pale green shirt and never speaks. Over the beach, shingled in scrap steel plate, crisscrossed by rivulets of leaked fuel, they come. Euro students, Aussie expats, Japan teens with plaid skirts and day-glow fright wigs, pothead Canadian career English teachers like Connell himself. Headphones on, Connell scans the faces in the crowd. His first roommate's ex-girlfriend, other wage slaves from the ESL academies, the Lithuanian au pair he met last month at karaoke, the bodybuilder, the liquor-pushing hostesses from the hookah dive, off-shift but still in company miniskirts and tight tees that say Jack Daniels, Johnny Walker. The flooring booms and flexes to the bass, the thump and shuffle of 100 feet at midnight. They come to breathe disease, to inhale ruin, paint flakes, heavy metals, liberated insulation. They come because they'll scrape themselves on frayed hull walls and curled steel shavings. They come because they know someday that science in a white gown will whisper in their ear that gentlest of enunciations, "You have a tumor." They come because that day is too far off. They come because that day was yesterday. They come because cigarettes won't kill you fast enough. They come because just living will. They come to have some mute post-fatalist longing consumed by bass pounding in the bulkheads and their bones. They come to dance.